Hello, welcome back to Veggie Plot. Just popped up to the plot this morning. It's very early, beautiful blue sky day, and yeah, I've got some potatoes to harvest. I also want to harvest some courgettes. So we're going to call this the big potato reveal, are we? They've been in there just hanging around for ages. We had all that dry weather, didn't we? And I didn't want to lift them then because they wouldn't have swollen as much, and we've had deluges of rain since then. So we'll see. Right, I've got a sack to put them in. These is for the courgettes. Put that in there. Let's go and see what we can find, shall we? Oh, actually, before we do that, just got to take this off. Put it back in the shed. It's getting warm already, believe it or not. Right, that's better. Okay, right. So this bed, the variety is early rose, and I planted them for several reasons. The first one being I'd saved tubers from the previous year which I'd grown on my other allotment. So if I just pull this one out, it's just sitting on the top there. It's gone quite green on the top. It's kind of huge actually for a new potato, isn't it, and knobbly. Yeah, these are early rose. They were developed and grown, I think to start with, in America, in Vermont perhaps, back in the 1800s anyway, and they led to a real potato sort of revival. They were quite an important crop for people in those days, and it led to this huge big growth industry in potatoes. And I think part of that was due to the fact that they do show quite good resistance to blight, which is one reason why I grew them. We didn't get any blight up here, but the reason there are no tops here is because I thought perhaps there was going to be blight, and also we'd had all that dry weather, I don't know if you remember, a month or two ago, and I think they really were just showing signs that they were ready. I planted, I think, 3 per row, so that's sort of 3, 6, 21 I'd say. I probably planted 21 tubers which I'd saved from the previous year. I've already dug these 3 out, and we probably had about, I'd say probably a dozen off those 3. But I'm not expecting huge numbers, partly because I did plant them rather late in the season. So anyway, let's get on with it, shall we, and start seeing what we can find. You see where I chopped the top off just here, and there's a potato on the surface. So there's going to be some here. There we go. Right, so, oh, right, look at those. Just under the surface there. Right, so that's one plant. Another one. Don't need that. There's another one, I think. Yep. Some in there. Right, let me just get on and unearth them, and we'll see what we've got. It looks like we've had about 18 successful plants. So this is what they're looking like. Just sort of uncovered them really. They're just sitting there below the surface. Some are green, yeah, as I mentioned, like these tiny ones. And these where the tops have just caught the sun, if you can just see. So they're no good for eating unless you chop it off maybe. But then again, I may save them for chitting for next year. And I think what we'll do is we'll just lift them all and put them in a pile. They're looking nice, aren't they? You can see the slight pink tinge to the skin here. Right, let's just put them all here. I think we've got more than 18, so yeah, let's have a look. These 18 here, this is what I would have planted in this bed, or 21 maybe, and I've got all those back. These have got sort of scab on them, which is not groovy. I might have to use them quickly or bin them. These are too tiny to be worth bothering with. And these are a few that have gone sort of green on the top, or parts of them, so yeah, can't eat them. But as I say, might save them for seed potatoes, we'll see. that's a success. You know, I've got some potatoes, probably tripled my numbers, so that's okay, but whether it was worth it for a whole bed. But as I say, I did put them in rather late. Too many excuses. I'll let you decide, you let me know. Right, okay, well I'm just going to bag those up then into the sack. Well, I might let them dry out a bit in the sun first, and then I'll bag them up into the sack to take them home, because if you want to store potatoes, it's quite good to store them in sort of paper sacks, you know, like you get from the big farm shop sometime, or in these Hessian bags. This is what I've got. I just got these off Amazon, and they're quite good because it keeps the light out, but allows them to breathe so they don't rot. Okay, well I'm going to sort all these out, and then I'm going to get on and pick the remaining courgettes. I've got to pick the courgettes, and then I want to give the courgette leaves a spray again. Actually, you might be interested to see how they're doing. This one's quite damaged in the wind. I lost one out of here or here, I think. But these leaves are more or less clear of powdery mildew now. There are a few bits coming on, so I'm going to spray these again. See, there are some on here. So I think it has worked, but I haven't been up here enough spraying. When I did it the first time, then we had all this torrential rain for days and days, and this is like the first dry day we've had since. So I think the mixture is working, but I will continue to keep you updated. So these here are the Soleil. I found a label, the Gemma are up that end, and they're another yellow one, but I was always wondering which was which. So these are Soleil down this end. But yeah, look at this, absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? Perfect. Right, I'll put that in there. Another one. Yes, this plant always, this position always does well. I'm not sure why that is. And maybe they get quite a bit of shade on there from the netting this year, but this one doesn't get so much, and it's on the end of the row. So maybe next year I'll plant them along here perhaps, and we'll see if that makes a difference. But it's not that we haven't had enough courgettes. Right, this is one of the Gemmas, which it's only one of those, and I think the alfrescos probably are over, but yeah, that's quite a nice little amount of courgettes. This is the Swiss chard we planted earlier in the year, and I'll just break some off. We had some of this last night and it was delicious, but I want some more. Yeah, there we go. Right, let's put this in the basket. You can always eat it much quicker than you think, can't you? I find that if you take home what you think you need, then actually it never lasts long. It wilts down, doesn't it? And then it's all gone really quick. So save me coming down again. I'll take some more. Put that in there. Let's take this up to the shed. I think that's enough for the moment. Right, I couldn't resist it actually. I had to pick a few more little courgettes you'll see at the front, just because I'm going to spray them and I didn't fancy them getting all sprayed. So yeah, I got some more courgettes, some kale, Cavallonera kale, Swiss chard, and obviously the other courgettes. Oh, and these, the Bonariensis, look at them, absolutely beautiful. And they do have a perfume I've never noticed before, a slight perfume. Not really strong, but quite nice. Oh, and don't forget the potatoes, which I shall take out of this sack actually when I get home, put in the shade and let dry off a little bit more. And then I'll put them back in the sack this evening and then put them in the shed, keep them out of the light. And hopefully we'll enjoy those for you over the next few weeks. Right. Okay, I hope you've really enjoyed this video. The next one's going to be up at the polytunnel. There are lots of tomatoes to pick. Chilies are coming in now thick and fast, and there's quite a bit of clearing up to do. So I think the next video is going to be up at the polytunnel. So hopefully I'll see you up there. Till then, bye for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.